everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel XAT, turning problems into solutions. This is me Priyasha Das, and today I'm up with the golden rules of grammar. Now under the golden rules of grammar, we'll be having many topics to be getting started with, but we'll start with subject verb agreement and few rules of pronouns in the first concept video, and thereon with the other concept videos I'll tell you about the other things related to grammar, which are essentially important in understanding what to be done in the real-time questions like parajumbles or RCs. But before that, let me tell you about Unacademy's new batches. So if you're planning for CMAT 2022, then you can surely check out the batch which is going to be released today, that's 2nd of March, the last lap for CMAT. And if you're planning for preparing for the CAT 2022, then you can also check out the new batch which is getting launched on 2nd March, that is Bell the CAT 2022. The link of these batches will be there in the description box. And just remember that before enrolling into any of these batches and getting a subscription, please don't forget to use my code Priyasha10 because that will give you an additional instant discount of 10%. And if you're planning at all to get a subscription, then please get it now because this is a limited period offer which Unacademy is coming up with, in which they are providing you free 6 months extension on all the subscriptions of 1 year and above. And this will be completely on first come first serve basis, guys. So if you really want to take the advantage, check the link in the description box and don't forget to use my code Priyasha10 to get an additional instant discount of 10% along with some special features of the Unacademy app. Now let's get our video started. Hello everyone. So as you've already seen my previous video in which I told you about the free CAT 2022 course. So here's the first video for that. How I'll be proceeding further is I'll be taking few sessions regularly for verbal. Like this week will be a complete verbal week. In the upcoming 3, 4, 5 videos, I'll be keeping only verbal lessons. And then in the next week, I'll jump to quant. I'll start with a small topic and then I'll be continuing for next 4, 5 days working on the same topic, taking you from the simple level questions to the medium and then to the difficult ones so that we are practicing at a par. Okay. And similarly, the next week would be LRDI and things like that. So we'll be proceeding and we'll be completing our sessions like that. Next step would be to process these videos. So how will you process these videos? You learn something from this video, you watch the video, we did some questions right there in the video itself, and then we went down to the description box and checked out the PDF link. Okay, so I'll be providing you a PDF link as well, in which I'll be giving you very less, like 5 or a few 5 to 10 questions, so that you can just finish it up in a matter of like 15 minutes or so, and then come back tomorrow in the other video and check your answers with mine, where I'll be discussing the real reason for selecting this answer and then proceeding on to my next part of the verbal session. So this is how we'll be proceeding in all our topics, verbal, quant or LRDI, and finishing things hand to hand. And of course, you will get the other sources of practicing also, like free tests are available on various websites. I need not name it, you know it very, very easily. If you just write the topic name, like if you write subject verb agreement, and after that you go on and write worksheets related to it or questions and answers. If you write like this in Google, you will see plenty of websites coming up with the answers and the questions both. Okay, so you can refer to that and you can surely get your game done. Practice more from there if you are not having any single source. All right, so over here, let's get started with our lesson today. So first thing which we will be focusing on is the subject verb agreement. So by agreement, we usually mean that the number of the subject, okay, number should be taken into consideration when we are talking about the subject and the verb. Okay, so first are few rules. Few rules are very simple. Like the first rule here is, when the subject is plural, the verb will also be plural. Like a boy is, the boys are. That's very simple. Similarly, the next thing is the sentence is singular. Okay, like if the subject is singular and joined by and, like here we have a and, then the verb will go plural. Like a boy, a girl means two people, guys, so that automatically means are. Okay, similarly, if there are more boys and more girls, then also we are going with are. So that's how we are supposed to work. And this is quite obvious and known to all. We'll not focus more on this. Rather, we'll go down to the others. If two singular subjects are joined by neither nor or either or, then the verb is always singular. Like either a boy or a girl is crying, but what do we need to focus? टू सिंगुलर, द सब्जेक्ट शुड बी सिंगुलर. अगर आपका सब्जेक्ट सिंगुलर नहीं है तब इसमें चेंजेस आ सकते हैं. दैट इज व्हाट वी विल डिस्कस इन पॉइंट नंबर 4. But here for now you need to know this, that if two singular subjects are joined by either or neither nor, then we go with is. Is crying, neither the boy nor the girl is crying. Similarly, as I told you in the point number 3, that if the subject is plural, then what will be the scenario? Then the scenario will be plural verb as well. Either the boys or the girls are crying, neither the boys nor the girls are crying. Now, statement number 5. Statement number or rule number 5 says that if one singular subject and one plural subject is joined by this either or neither nor, then the verb agrees with the subject which is nearer to it. That means, let's take a quick example. Either the boy or the girls are crying. Which is the nearest one to are, my verb? Girls, which is plural. So because it's plural, we'll go with the subject are. Another example is neither the boys, plural subject, nor the girl, singular, is crying. Why is? The reason is because the girl, which is the subject, is singular and the closer one to my verb. So we'll go with this. Fine. So either or, neither nor in all the three situations. Singular subjects, plural subjects and singular plural combination subjects is clear with us. Now we'll move down to the 6th rule. This 6th rule says when two subjects are joined by as well as, rather than, more than, as much as, then the verb agrees with the first subject. Now in this case, the verb does not agrees with the nearest to the verb, rather it nearest to the verb subject, rather it goes with the very first subject. In which type of sentences? The sentences which have as well as, rather than, more than, as much as. So let's take a quick example. The boy as well as the girl is crying. Now here we don't have a doubt because both the boy and the girl is singular. But in case the boy rather than the girls is responsible. So even if we see that the subject which is closest to the verb is plural, but still we are considering it as singular because my first subject is singular. And that happens only when we have as well as, rather than, more than, or as much as in my sentence. So please keep that in mind while solving questions. Now, point number 7. So point number 7 says there's a combination, one or more or one or two. So in my sentence, if I have one or more or one or two written, and with that I have a plural subject, then the verb should also be plural. For example, one or more boys are crying because the subject is plural, more boys. Similarly, one or two girls, which is a plural subject, are crying. So we need to keep in mind that one or more is a combination in which we will go with plural depending upon what subject are we having. Now, let's take more than one. So more than one or many-a. So if your sentence is having more than one or many-a with a singular subject, then my verb will also go singular. Like more than one boy is crying. Many a girl is crying. So even though the word has many, but that doesn't mean that just because in the sentence I have many, so my verb will also be plural. No, many when going with a singular subject makes the combination of the verb as singular. So that is special to note here. Moving next, we have the 9th rule which says any of. So if your statement is having any of, and with that we have a plural subject, so we'll go with the plural verb. Like, were any of the boys crying? Question mark. So here we are talking about boys, right? and boys are plural and were will also be plural. Similarly, one or the two girls. So here we remember one or the two. We have learned about it earlier also. But just because it's one doesn't mean that the singular verb will be used. We will be going with the plural subject close to it. So plural verb over here as well. Now, statement number 10, none of. So, if your statement has none of and a plural subject, here the game changes because the verb used will be singular verb. So, even though your subject close to the verb is a plural one, but just because of the presence of none of, it will turn into a singular verb. Example of this is none of the clothes is dirty, none of the money has been found. So none of always goes with a plural verb, singular verb, even if the subject is plural. So make a note of that carefully. These are few things you can note down in your notebook if you have it, or you can take screenshots, or if you have a notepad in your computer or laptop, iPad, or even your mobile phone, you can just make a note over there. This is the few thing you learned. Okay. Now, we have certain rules related to the pronouns as well, very small ones. But before that, I'll just quickly tell you about what are the three types of personal pronouns we know. And this is important because error detection. Error detection is a direct question in the OMETs, friends. So, in the other management exams like XAT, SNAP, IFT, TIS, CMAT, इन सारे एग्जाम्स में आपको एरर डिटेक्शन के डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस मिल जाएंगे. बट यू वुड कम एंड आस्क मी अगेन that in the CAT we don't get this, so why are we even preparing for it? But my answer will still remain the same, because until and unless you know how to construct a correct, grammatically correct sentence, or until and unless you know how to replace one word with another in case of synonyms and antonyms and your vocabulary based stuff, you will never be able to solve any RC or parajumble questions accurately with 100% accuracy. If you want accuracy to go high and as high as possible in RCs, inference based questions, and the parajumbles, then you need to be very much worried about your error detection skills as well as your sentence framing skills. So, inference based RCs are directly related to your vocab skills, okay, and parajumbles, PJs, are directly related to your error detection or sentence correction or sentence completion skills. Okay. Until and unless you are good with these topics, you can never be good with parajumbles or inference based RC questions. So make sure that you do it properly. Only then you will be able to connect the statements and do the parajumbles or the inference based questions accurately. So coming back to personal pronouns, subject form. One type is subject form. In this, we will ask the question of who. Like ask the question who before the verb. Here the sentence is I ate the apple. So your question will be who ate the apple, and then the pronoun can be I, you, we, he, they, anything. Possessive form is when you ask the question of whose before the verb. Like the apple is mine. Whose is the apple? Mine. Yours. Theirs. His. Her. Like that. Similarly, the third type of personal pronoun is the object form, where we ask the question of to whom or whom before the verb. Like the teacher hates me. The teacher hates whom? So the object of this is me, you, us, him, them. Similarly, the apple belongs to dash. The apple belongs to me, you, us, him, them. To whom is the question which we ask. So from here we understand that the personal pronouns can be of three different forms. Based on it, let's solve some question, guys. So the question can be, why don't you and me go for a walk? Now tell me the thing which you find wrong here. I give you 5 seconds to think and write down the answers in the comment section. Use the comment section just like you drop a message to the teacher, guys. Okay, if you use this comment section like that, we can really connect with each other and we can clear your doubt, right? So write your answers there. What do you think will be the correct sentence over here? Why don't you and me go for a walk? So the time's up. So the correction over here will be I. Why don't you and I go for a walk? Okay, that's the proper way of using the pronoun. Fine. Me is something which falls into the object form, but I is something which falls into the, I just now told you at the top, if you remember, that I is in the subject form. Just have a look here. And me is in the object form. So here we are talking about two people and I want the subject. You and I will be the proper subject rather than you and me. Now, question number 2. The baby had its bath. So, if you find something fishy, please let me know in the comment section what should be the correction over here in question number 2. And I hope that you have done it. If not, then you can pause this video, do it, and then come and play back the video. So here the answer, and if you got it right also, then also let me know in the chat or the comments so that I get to know that you people are actually benefiting out of it. So the baby had its bath. The problem is in its. So the general problem is that its, which is written over here, actually means it is. Okay, it's a small or a short form of writing it is. But if I write it here like this, the baby had it is bath, then it is wrong. So the correct form will be its. Its will go in which form? Its will be going in possessive form. Its bath. Okay, so this is possessive form of pronoun. Now, question number 3 is related to subject verb agreement. So if you guys remember anything about the subject verb agreement question which we did right now, the topic, then you would be able to answer this. Okay, none of them dash able to solve this question. So basically you can tell me whether the substitution or the blank will be filled up by was or were. None of them was able to or were able to. So this is very simple, but we have learned a rule. We have learned a rule that none always goes with singular, but none when used alone will go with singular. But how is it used over here? It's used in a preposition phrase. Okay, none of. So none of is a preposition phrase, and whenever we have preposition phrase, then we determine the subject. The subject determines the verb. Okay, so which is the subject? Them, and them is a plural subject. So what will be my verb? My verb will also be plural, that is were. So none of them were able to solve this question. None was able to solve this question. This question, this sentence can be written as none was able to solve this question, because here none is not written in the preposition format of none of, rather it is just alone. So when none is alone, it is taking up the singular verb. Now question number 4, try it, answer it in the comments, and then check back the answer here. $850 dash what it would cost to buy the new Pixel phone. Is or are? What do you think? $850 is or are what it would cost to buy the new Pixel iPhone. So $85 is collective. Collective, okay, collective noun. And whenever we are dealing with money as a collective noun, we know that we have to go with a singular verb, that is. So $85 or basically $85 or maybe $850 is what they exactly mean. So $850 is what it would cost to buy the new Pixel phone. So that's all about this video, guys. We learned about the subject verb agreement and the pronoun usage correctly. I'll come up with more videos where I'll be taking up these kind of things and practicing more questions. Don't forget to check out the description box to find out the 5 to 10 questions I'll be giving related to this topic. And join me back in the next video to check out the answers of those questions and to cover up the other topics of grammar as well. So if you found this video useful, please like this video, share it with more and more people, guys. Please do this because this kind of an initiative needs the support of people as well. So make sure you share it with more and more people. And if you are new to this channel, then please subscribe to this channel. That would be of great help. I'll be up with more such videos. Till then, please take care and thank you so much for watching this video.